Welcome back. Let's spend a few minutes looking into the different components of identity security perimeter that we talked about and how do they fit into the overall cybersecurity reference architecture.
So as we take a look at the overall reference architecture, and this is the detailed version, we'll show the capability one in just a moment. You can see a lot of the elements that we've been discussing here, and what we have is really just listed out as many as we could of the significant notable capabilities, and really focused on organizing it in a way that can help you understand not only what you have in the context of this, but how these new capabilities might fit in. And the intent isn't necessarily just to, jam a bunch of Microsoft technology in there. There may be stuff that, I looked and I decided that I like this particular third-party or different provider that provides this. Great. Well, we wanted you to have an organized way so that you could put those in there, record what you have, record what you want to put into it, whether it's Microsoft's or another technology, so that you have a complete strategy. Because that's the most important thing for us, is that most organizations are running Microsoft at some significant level, and we want them to be secure. We want you guys to be secure on our platform. And if you're using our technology to do it, great. If you're using a different technology to do it, great. We of course prefer that you would use our technology, but we really want you to be secure because you're already using our technology, and we're very, very invested in making you successful in the face of these cybersecurity threats.
And we wanted to make sure that there is a baseline sort of architectural view into all of these different Microsoft cybersecurity capabilities. That's one. But as you said, Mark, the goal again here is not to say that you have to be using all of these Microsoft capabilities to leverage this architecture, right? You can very well take a look at it and say, I have this third-party component in my environment. What does that mean to the overall consolidated security approach?
Exactly.
Right?
And
that's the goal.
Do I have a complete strategy? Am I doing the right things first? And we really wanted to help organizations with planning those elements to it. And so one of the things I want to highlight here that you'll see on the screen, and we're posting this a link to download this reference architecture, this slide, is when you put it in presentation mode, you can hover over any of those capabilities and learn more about it. And so it's got a couple lines to describe it, but you can also click on it and get started on an information page that will help you learn more about that capability. Of course, there's a lot of information on each of these out there, but we wanted to have a nice solid starting point for you to get a sense of where each of these pieces fit.
And then again, from a capability perspective, right? So this is sort of the light version of the capability-driven architecture, if you will, right? So if you look across the different stacks, whether it's identity, whether it's data, whether it's how do you go about protecting identity on premises, how do you go about enhancing your ability to detect threats proactively in your environment, this provides you with a baseline approach of what different components or capabilities do you need to get there.
Yeah, what should I expect? What should I be looking for?
It also allows you to go and take a comprehensive look at your own environment and say, these are the capabilities I have, these are the things that I'm missing, these are the areas where I need to focus on.
Exactly. So Sachin, any final thoughts before we close the course?
Yes, Mark, two things. One is, when we talk about security, we have to talk about security in the context of business, right?
Yes.
And then also, we need to be able to leverage security to break traditional silos.
Yes.
We cannot think about security in identity, data, or app and those device silos, but rather we want to be able to bring them together. And that's the only way the customers are going to realize the maximum value, and they are going to be more proactive about detecting threats and go from detection to disruption.
Exactly.
So hopefully what we have done here with the reference architecture, you all have found some value, and hopefully this is going to provide you with that baseline approach as to how do you go about enhancing that security posture? How do you go about connecting the dots together? But more importantly, how do you break those silos and bring identity, device, application data together to realize the best value out of your investment, not just with Microsoft, but also across other security vendors?
I completely agree. I mean, you have to have these protections on your identity and apps, but you need that integrated approach. And the last two thoughts that I had were, it's got to be security and productivity. It can't be security or productivity. It's not a trade-off. It's something where you have to spend the time and the work on how these work together. How do you accomplish both? Because that's really where we put a lot of our work in, because we think that's how our customers are going to be successful. And that's especially true when you look at the two dominant trends that are really affecting IT and IT security right now, which is the digital transformation, as businesses are trying to embrace new opportunities and use all this great cloud technology to make their businesses better, their customer interactions better. They're being asked to do all this new stuff so that the businesses can be more successful, or the organizations can be more successful. And at the same time, the cybersecurity threats are rising. And so, this is a difficult thing to manage, and we're really very focused on helping organizations manage those two dynamics, because you've got those rising threats, you've got that rising level of change in how IT is done, and the more that you can focus on that security and productivity piece, the more that you'll be able to help your organization succeed and gain that competitive advantage, and that's just so critical. And even for a mission-driven organization, being able to help them accomplish their mission in a better way while being secure, because those independent organizations and governments are under attack too. So with that, I just want to thank everybody for attending this course, and we really appreciate the time that you spent, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.